In this video SEO for beginners, I'm going to help you understand a little bit more about what video SEO actually is and the things that are actually important and the things that aren't that important, because we all know when you're searching online and trying to learn these things, you get bombarded with 1,000,001 different answers, different opinions, some wrong, some right, but all in all, if you are a beginner, you just kind of want to know the basics so you can develop on that. Now, before we get started, whoever leaves a comment below letting me know why you're trying to learn video SEO, perhaps it's to grow your business, perhaps it's to get more exposure for a charity, whatever the reason, go ahead and leave a comment below. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and send you a message and give you my overnight ranking course, which is a 14-part video course, super focused, can be completed within the hour, and it's going to reveal some really great tips and tricks to help anyone, no matter what level, get those rankings and get more exposure. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with CTR, aka click-through rate. Now, this is something that so many people overcomplicate when it doesn't need to be. The click-through rate is basically how many people click on your video versus how many times it's seen. Now, the click-through rate is arguably one of the most important factors, because obviously if people aren't clicking on your video, then you're not really gonna get anywhere with that video. But ultimately, there's two ways to get people to click on your video and increase the click-through rate. Number one is creating really attractive thumbnails. Usually the best sort of thumbnails are the most clickbaity ones, and it's only because they evoke an emotion. So unless it's super niche and there's not much out there regarding the video that you're presenting, ideally, despite what people say, you do want to create something a little bit clickbaity. And there's a lot of badness around clickbait, but that's only because most people get clickbait wrong. The idea of clickbait is to take an aspect of your video, something that actually happens in the video, and enhance it on your thumbnail. You're basically telling people what your video is about, but it's evoking an emotional response to that person. Now, sometimes depending on the video, it can be really easy or hard, but that is your job as a content creator to ensure that your thumbnail represents your video in the best possible way. So make sure, if you are going to go down the clickbaity route, you have relevant thumbnails which have some sort of relevance to the actual video. Now, click-through rate is really important, because the more people that are clicking on your videos, the more YouTube is going to say, hey, there's obviously something good with this video or bad, so we're going to boost it and start seeing what's going to go on with it. So thumbnails is really important. Now, the second thing to help your click-through rate is your titles. Your titles need to be noticed or seen. A lot of people are starting to recommend emojis. I wouldn't do emojis. I would perhaps do part of your title with capitalization or include brackets in it. Use trigger words which evoke an emotion, and most importantly, keep your title super focused. So let's now move on to the second thing I think is really important, which is video structure. Because if you are not structuring your videos in the right way, then YouTube's going to have a really hard time knowing what your video is actually about. What does this actually mean, and how can you do it? Well, very simply, you want to start off with making sure you know your keywords. And if you don't know what a keyword is, or you kind of want more helpful advice about that, go ahead and click the link in the description, because that will take you to one of my latest videos where I talk all about that. But in short, you want to make sure that you have your main keyword in your title, and then you have your title in the first line of your description. You then want to create a few paragraphs in your description with a few more long tail keywords. And again, if you don't know what a long tail keyword is, I'll leave a link for long tail keywords versus short tail keywords video that I created in the past, and you know, by the end of it you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So by you creating your descriptions which have a sprinkle of long tail keywords in there, you're basically helping YouTube make more accurate decisions about what your video is actually about. Now, if you are starting a new channel, so many people think you need the perfect tags. In fact, the best thing you can do is don't touch the tag area at all and start uploading videos on a regular basis. And what's going to happen over the space of 30 days or so is YouTube is going to, start playing around and, dancing with your videos and putting them there and there. And all that's going to happen is that's going to show in the analytics as what keywords are converting best for you. And that's when you can go back to these videos and start putting in those tags. Okay, and the final thing, which is arguably again one of the most important things and something that is becoming more and more important, is view time. Now, there is no way you can actually fake this. You need to be creating content that's keeping video on your videos or on your platform. So in other words, if you are producing garbage, you can expect garbage results. YouTube want to see people with at least a 20% viewer retention rate. And then YouTube also wants the same people to be clicking on your other videos. YouTube want to keep people on their platform for as long as possible. So if you continually keep creating content, which is number one, getting a long view time, but two, encouraging people to click on your other videos, YouTube is just simply going to reward you with more authority, more exposure, and ultimately help grow your channel in ways that you wouldn't even dream of. It's one of the core reasons that videos go viral. It's because they have the perfect combination of a good thumbnail, a good video structure, and a good viewer time. And they keep people on their videos. In the next video, I'm going to be going into more depth about YouTube SEO and giving you some really good YouTube SEO tips. And that brings us to the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I release daily videos on how you, the business owner or individual, can grow your digital assets. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.